What's going on, guys? This is Brandon with Yourpbfriend.com. Today what we're going to be going over is basic cleaning of any standard blowback markers. This includes your Spyders, your Defy sports guns such as the Conquest, or even your Zoda markers, the Blitz or the Chaos. So some of the things we're going to be going over is how to lube your hammer. So some of the first things you want to do is obviously make sure there's no air system attached to your gun, and you want to screw your barrel off and make sure you don't have any paintballs in your breech. You don't want to shoot an eye out. So first thing we want to do is go ahead and clean the exterior of the marker. You can just take a microfiber cloth, just get rid of any of the paint or the debris, the dirt, all that stuff. You just want to make sure your marker's clean. Then from there, we want to go ahead and pull the bolt out. And that, depending on your gun, usually just pull up what they call the bolt pin and comes out straight back. And you can set that off to the side. Then what you want to do is go ahead and take a barrel swab, and you could shove it through the front of the gun and go from all the way through and then all the way back. And that'll make sure that the top tube of your gun is clean. From there, what you want to do is, if you have tough to clean spots on your marker, you can either use a denture brush or a toothbrush, and it's not going to scratch your gun, but you can actually get into the tight cracks and stuff on your marker, so keep that in mind. Then what you want to do is go ahead and unscrew this back cap right here, just with your hand. The back piece is going to come out. Let me go ahead and move this aside. So this back piece is going to come out. You're going to have a spring, and you're also going to have what they call the bumper. You may have to use like a dental pick to go ahead and reach inside there, and it's just this rubber circle that sits in the body of the gun. And then once you get it out enough, it'll just be a small rubber circle just like this. Go ahead and set that off to the side. Now what you're going to do is there is what they call the hammer in here. So you can use either an Allen key or your dental pick, and there's going to be an actual little hole on the rammer itself, and you can actually help guide it back. And once you get it clear enough, you should be able to back it out by hand, just like that. So this piece right here is called your hammer. It's going to have an O-ring on the front, a hole in the back where the bolt pin will actually ride in the hammer just like this. And this flat spot underneath here is what catches the sear. So what the sear does is, once it's a metal piece like this, and once you pull the trigger, it's going to clear this, and it's going to move this piece forward, and it's going to open up the valve, and that's how the paintball gun functions to shoot the paintball. So to clean this, all you have to do is take your microfiber cloth, go ahead and wipe it down. Now to lubricate this part of your gun, it's recommended that you use a paintball specific gun oil. So you can either use Tri-Flow, Gold Cup, Eclipse grease or Eclipse oil, or any other paintball specific oils. So what you want to do is go ahead and take a small amount and place it on the rammer. You don't need to douse it in there. All you need to do is just put a light amount to make it look wet to the touch. Go ahead and take your fingers and go ahead and spread the oil around on the rammer or the hammer, and then that piece is done. So now what you want to do is you want to orient this O-ring facing the front of the gun, this hole right here for the bolt pin facing up, and this flat part here facing down. Now before you do that, what you have to do to make sure that the hammer clears the sear is you're actually going to have to unscrew your frame just a tiny little bit. So you want to take the according Allen key size and unscrew the halves of the gun using your Allen key. So you go ahead and take the back part all the way out. You don't have to take the front one right here all the way out. You just need to unscrew it enough to where the frame will separate, just like that. So now what you want to do is go ahead and take your hammer, face this part facing forward and the bolt pin hole facing upwards, and go ahead and slide it down. And when you pull the frame apart, the hammer is going to drop down into it, just like that, okay? And go ahead and make sure the frame and the body connect smoothly together. Don't force it. Now go ahead and take your Allen key and tighten the front of the marker. Alright, so now what you want to do is you want to take your spring, go ahead and place that inside. Then your bumper that goes over the spring. Then you want to take your back cap and go ahead and screw that 1 to 2 turns in. And you want to make sure that the hole for the bolt pin is facing up. Then what you want to do is go ahead and take your bolt pin, make sure that this is pulled up. Then go ahead and insert this into the gun and make sure you click down and make sure it snaps into place. And it'll snap down just like that. And then you can go ahead and tighten this back piece all the way down. Go ahead and take your back frame screw, screw this in. And this is something when you're putting your grip screws together that you don't need to over tighten these. All you need to do is just make sure when it starts getting hard to turn, you can just give it an extra like 1/16 of a turn. That's it. For both screws, make sure it's not over tightened, and that's it. It's not going to fall out or vibrate out on you. So then all you want to do to make sure that all the pieces are working together correctly is go ahead and press this back, your bolt, and you press the trigger and the hammer and the bolt will shoot forward. And that's pretty much it. Go ahead and screw your barrel on together. And this is going to be the same for a majority of the standard blowback markers. With the Azodens, the Blitzes and stuff that have the electronics in the board, you're going to want to make sure that you have a fresh 9 volt. Use good 9 volts such as Energizers or Duracells, and that's what's recommended. Other than that, with these guns, it's pretty much the same process. You're going to go ahead and screw this, unscrew the back piece, and pull out the rammer just like how you did with what I showed you guys with this guy. So that concludes it with the Spider and Azoden and Defy Sports or any of the standard blowback markers. That's the basic maintenance. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and comment below and take it easy.